Welcome back. So in this question, we're asked to find, there is no drawing or anything to help us, so let's look at the wording very carefully. The area of a sector of a circle. Now, a sector of a circle looks like this on page 9 of the tables. And if it's in radians, it turns out to be a really simple formula. The area is half r squared theta. And slightly more complicated, but not very much so. You take a circle, A equals pi r squared, a circle, and you take the proportion of that pi over 360 degrees. That's being done here too, with the theta being in some way, and maybe some cancellation. The theta is the fraction of a circle. And a pi from pi r squared has cancelled, and you still have the 2 lingering. Okay, so let's just, it's no harm, there is no drawing, so it makes a lot of sense to do a sketch. A very rough sketch. We could use equipment, but in a higher level exam there's no reason for that level of constructionism. Okay, so we do know that the area is 27 centimeters squared, so we represent that with square brackets. The length of the radius is 6. Find in radians the measure of the angle in the sector. So we'll go to our formula and write down the equation for area in terms of angle when it's in radians. And we'll get A equals r squared theta over 2. Where I've simply extended the fraction line throughout the entire expression and left the 2 underneath. That's a very handy thing to do. Okay, so we're trying to get the angle theta, so theta is the thing we're trying to get. So just put a star on that there to remind myself that's what I'm trying to get. So now let's make theta the subject of the formula and then substitute, but you could substitute the numbers now and then isolate theta. You can take your pick. So we would get that theta is equal to 2a over r squared, where the 2 comes up and the r squared goes down. So theta is equal to double the area. Now I'm substituting in, and then the r squared. Okay, you put that in your calculator. Open up your fraction bar. 2 by 27 divided by 36. I do know 6 squared is 36, so I'm going to just put that in directly. Okay, and the calculator says 1.5, which means I have it in whole number, part number. Okay, so theta equals 1.5. That's something I want to not so much fix, but radians. But it isn't the best way to have things. If there was an ongoing calculation, you would not want it in this format. So shift setup, go down to number format, fraction result 4. Yeah, there we go here. So I'll just go through that again. First go into setup, and the first page, the first screen you see looks like this. I'll do that again one more time for you. First go into setup, go down. Actually it's right there with fraction format on the original, on the first setup page, and hit 4. And we actually want that to be in 2 most of the time. If I go back now and look at my answer, we see that it's 3 over 2, which is generally speaking the way you want it. Mind you, you're only one step away from turning it into mixed numbers if needs be. But, not very popular. Okay, so 1.5 radians is the answer anyway.